Hey guys, Elephant Fan here, and I'm doing a video about hold up. Artemis Fowl, the movie. Now, I'm sure you've heard it all online already. All about how the movie's bad. And it's a bad movie, don't get me wrong. But none of the people I've seen doing those videos, and I've seen like 3 of those videos already, including one from Critical, honestly one of my favorite YouTubers, to be honest. That was a redundant sentence, but okay. But none of them seem to be like an actual fan of the books. I'm not saying they aren't fans of the books, I'm just saying they don't comment on the books at all. And I actually, after watching the movie, I bought the book. I've read the book before, and I'm pretty sure before this I owned the book at some point, but I either sold it or I lost it during a moving or something like that. So I got a new one. This series is older than I am. I'm 17. This book 19. Or maybe 20. No. And I'm not getting into that math right now. Either way, 2001, 2003. The book and the second book are both younger than me. And I've read most of the books. I haven't read them all. I don't remember at what point I stopped reading them. I know I read the one where Artemis goes back in time, and I think I started reading the one after that, but I don't know. Last thing I remember, there was something about like a demon or fire elementals or something like that. Something, I don't know, there's something weird going on. But then again, it's Artemis fell when it's or not. And let me just tell you, this cover is not doing Artemis any favors. My god. Another thing I noticed, they have this thing. That's a thing from the movie that isn't featured anywhere in the book series. The Oculus, or the Aculas, however they pronounce it. It's Oculus, and Critical actually made that exact same point in his video. But yeah, one thing, I've read the graphic novels. I've read both of them. They were both pretty good. But like the first one, my god, they had random upgrades and random downgrades to certain equipment. Like, I can't think of a good example right now for the gun. The fairies' guns. In the movie, they're like these super powerful weapons that can change from a sword to a gun. It's like the tool from After Earth. Is that it? The movie with Will Smith and his son? I think it's After Earth, with the monsters that smell your fear, that actually weren't as big of a part of the story as they should have been, given that it's a pretty cool concept. Anyway, it's like the weapon from that kind of, but downgraded so it can't do as much, but still really cool. Another thing, the glasses. In the original stories and in the graphic novels, they have like these awesome looking steampunk goggles. Like, I had the same kind of goggles for a Halloween party one year. I've had a couple of them, but I lost a couple of the lenses. I was a dumb kid, and basically I took apart my regular glasses to try to see if I could get the lens in those steampunk goggles and replace those as my regular glasses. It didn't work, and I never actually took apart the glasses, but I did take apart the steampunk lenses. No idea what I was thinking. I genuinely don't know what the hell I would have done. I mean, it's like I could have flown that to school, I would have gotten in trouble. Let's see here. Artemis. let's talk about Artemis. Books. He's an evil genius who's... I can't stress this enough. He's an evil genius. To the point where it's like, the first chapter of the book is all about him poisoning a fairy, I think it was, so that he can get a book for 30 minutes. 30 minutes alone with a book. So he could photograph it, so he could figure out how to translate it. He poisons her with holy water. Putting it in Irish whiskey, if I remember correctly. Anyway. Anyways. He's evil. In the books. Not in the movies. In the movies, Artemis doesn't really do much of anything. And he certainly doesn't find out about the fairies, because his dad did all that. Hell, if I genuinely wouldn't be surprised to find out that the Artemis fowl the second in the movie is actually Artemis fowl the third, and the dad is the original Artemis fowl. At least then, if they had a setup like that, I definitely wouldn't be a fan, but it would at least make more sense as to why everything's different. Now, I'm not gonna say anything about, like, the race change for Butler, because it's like, you can have a race change and still have a cool character. So, that's not the problem. I mean, just look at Domino from Deadpool 2. But why didn't they call him Butler? A big part of his story was that he's Butler. You don't find out what his real name is till the third book, and you only find it out because Butler thinks he's going to die while protecting Artemis. And that's the only time you can reveal your real name as a Butler, is when you're about to die. And, like, the first book makes it clear. Artemis Fowl's dad has been gone for a long time. To the point where Butler is pretty much like Artemis. It's basically like a dad, but who has to follow his son's every command. Which, that's a horrible description. Ian Colfer summarized it better. I'd probably find that summarization if I looked, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But let's talk about Juliet. In the books, I'm like 90% sure she was 15 in the books, but she's 12 in the movie. And maybe she was 12 in the books, I don't know, it's been a while, okay? Even so, in the movie, Juliet was Butler's niece. In the books, it's Butler's little sister. Why change that? What about that needed changing? And the same thing goes for the fairy tree. Because, like, in the book, the reason Artemis was able to capture Holly was because of the ritual with the tree. He knew that on that specific night, a fairy would be there at that tree. But in the movie, it's just like, hey, my dad sees fairies at this tree every so often. It's like, hey, I have 3 days to find my dad. Screw it, let's wait at this tree where fairies sometimes appear. I mean, they had no idea a fairy was going to appear within those 3 days. His dad could have just died. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more my Artemis Fowl the Third's theory kind of makes sense. I mean, that could explain why there's a different Commander Root, who's a girl now. I mean, Commander Root was totally a dude in the original story. And, well, if it weren't important at all, I'd be perfectly fine with them changing Commander Root's gender. But a big part of Holly's storyline was that she was like the first badass female cop in the LEP recon force. Not first badass cop, but the first badass female cop, because she's the first female cop. She had to be strong and she had to be tough, because everyone was looking up to her. She couldn't mess up, even if she wanted to. She couldn't, because she had to be an inspiration to everyone, all the citizens, especially the girls. Wait, why did I say that? Because they would be inspired by her to join the police force. My point is, she was the first female cop. Removing that removes Holly's whole reasoning for being like she is. Let's see here. Oh yeah, downgrades to equipment. Just look at the glasses, or the... Wait, no, I already mentioned that. The cell they keep Holly in is like a makeshift cell. It's just sticks and like a chain link fence wrapped into a box shape. It was haphazardly made, and she should be able to easily escape. In the books and in the graphic novel, it was this like fortress, pretty much, that was impossible for her to escape from. And she couldn't just walk out the front door, because she wasn't a guest in their house. It seems like the leprechauns basically follow vampire laws in a way, because like they couldn't they couldn't enter your house without your express permission. And they're fully willing to play fast and loose with that kind of role whenever they need to. Like, there's a time where they need... Oh my god, yeah, the beginning scene. Like, for one thing, they made the troll different in the movie, but still, it was a cool scene. But they changed it. The original scene took place inside of a house, and that was a small... But it was there, it was part of the struggle. Because Holly had to manage to get in there and get permission to destroy this troll, I think it was. But she can't enter the house without permission. So she had to play fast and loose with the rule, having it be like, someone calls out for help. Yeah, it sounds like permission to me. It was kind of neat how they went around the rule. Anyway, can't think of much more I'd want to say on the topic. There might be a follow-up video. There might not be. I don't know. I'll try to post more frequently in the future. Not just a single post every... Anyway, that's about it for now. And before I go, just remember, you're not afraid of the dark. You're afraid of what's in it.